history?
Oh, just happened this year. The Toronto Raptors winning the NBA championship. That was number one. But if I go a little bit back before then, if you go back into the 90s, I would have to say Joe Carter's home run. They gave the Toronto Blue Jays their championship as well, too. So I give them both a nod. But I have to give it to the Raptors, though, because no one ever thought that would even. I would have to say Joe Carter's home run. They gave the Toronto Blue Jays their championship as well.
Fast enough to fall in front of Dykstra. So the tying run is at second. The run that would win the World Series is at first, and Joe Carter is the batter.
I'm going to tell you guys an amazing story. It wouldn't exist without this monumental win in Canadian sports history thanks to Joe Carter. But it also wouldn't exist without this guy I'm about to show you. This is Big Rich, a big baseball fan with a big heart. He's been to every single major baseball league stadium in North America. How do you know him, you might ask? Well, he happens to be my dad's best friend from childhood. So, in 1988, Big Rich and my dad both moved to Toronto, and Big Rich opened a restaurant called the Texas Longhorn Cafe. It was very successful, and a lot of people would come around. Eventually, a guy named Dwayne Ward would. My dad says Big Rich treated him like a king and would buy him his meals. Now, he wasn't at the time, but he became a pitcher for the Blue Jays, and he'd then bring his teammates to the restaurant. That ended up scoring Big Rich 3 tickets to the World Series championship game. Here's him describing the day.
And we were just excited to be there, and we drank all day, and we wanted to show our support. We yelled at Philadelphia fans. It was a great time.
Joe has had his moments. 2 balls and 2 strikes on it. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a belt. Left field. Way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Snad 590, the fan. Joe, I'm gonna challenge you here. I don't know if it can be done because you have talked about this moment so much, but I'm gonna ask the question anyway.
Okay.
Give us a story from that night you have not told anyone.
Okay, that I haven't told anyone.
A fresh tale.
There is, oh man, I can, I think I may have mentioned it once, or maybe somebody else mentioned it to me. Oh, well, you know what? Here's one. I was just in Vancouver, and I did an appearance for the Vancouver Canadians, and I was set to sign autographs for, it ended up being I signed autographs for 11 innings at the game. It went extra innings. But anyway, a young man came up to me. He said, "Look, I don't want anything." He said, "But I want to show you something." And I said, "Okay." And so he showed me a picture he had framed. He said, this is? I said, "Yeah, that's my dad."
Oh, is it? Yeah.
And, my dad, passed away last September the 20th, of 2012. And so he said, "I was sitting in front of your mother and father." And he said, "This is a picture of your dad." He turned around and took a picture of my dad in a proud moment with almost tears coming down his eyes. As I was circling the bases, he said, "This is from the 93 World Series, the moment you hit the home run." And, of all the things that I've been given, that is probably the top one, because it, with my dad passing away and then, missing him, for a whole year, it was really a special moment. And that was a great moment for me, for someone to come up and give me that, and who happened to be right there sitting with my family in a row behind him. So that was pretty special.
What a great story. Like the hairs on my arms are raised by listening
Honestly,
to that.
Joe, I didn't think you had one.
Since that day in 2013, Joe Carter told a friend of Big Rich that he looks at that picture every single day.
That's my dad.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Dwayne told me it was your dad.
Yeah,
that's right after you hit the home run.
Man.
So that's for you, from me.
I tell you what. Oh man, you know what? My dad passed away last September.
Yeah.
September 20th. I really appreciate that.
It's nice to give something to you instead of you giving everybody, you know. So.
Wow. That's special.